North Taylorville Boulevard by clicking the Valley View Mobile Home Park icon on the obits page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
It's the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. You'll find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube when you search WTIM TV. I have University of Illinois Extension Nutrition and Wellness Educator Lisa Peterson on the phone. Great to have you back, Lisa.
Yes, thank you for having me.
One of the things you do, Lisa, you offer a lot of great educational programming on how to stay healthy and well, and also a general overview of food safety. I understand you have a couple of courses coming up in March. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, so let's talk with probably our biggest one that's coming up, and that'll be March 21st. We're going to do we're calling it Let's Talk Food Service, and we're super excited. We're partnering with the health department. The fire chief's actually going to be coming in, as well as the state plumber. And we're really going to get into what to do for if you're looking at opening a restaurant or for those who do have a food service in Christian County.
That's great. And so it's going to be, this is open to anyone who is in that sector.
Yep. So this workshop is really, it's going to be great because, again, it's bringing all of us together. They're going to be going into a lot of the details on MOSIN violations and how to avoid them. They're going to review some of the policies and procedures when it comes to food service. Fire and plumbing I know we're going to get more into inspection and looking at the restaurants. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to spend some time talking about the new cottage food law, which is good for anybody who's looking at selling at the farmer's market or wanting to take the recipe they're making at home and selling it in the farmer's market at festivals. And we kind of go through the do's and don'ts of that.
I'm sure there's a lot of jargon and legal language in there, but basically, what does that law say?
Yeah, so what it is the cottage food law. It's conducted by a person who produces or packages non-potentially hazardous foods in a kitchen located at their house. So that's somebody who's looking at, they're wanting to sell from home, and that law has changed over time. Now it's where can you sell from food you create at home. Now you can sell at farmers markets, fairs, festivals, or public events. You can also sell it online. You can do a pickup from your house. We get into that a little bit. I know they change what you can and cannot sell. So that's something we will talk about is things that are prohibited, not allowed to be sold. Getting started with that, one thing we do look at is, do you have the right certifications? And one of those certifications is the Certified Food Protection Managers, which we offer through Extension. And we're actually got one coming up here on March 11th and 12th, which is great for people who are doing cottage food as a pastime. I'm actually offering this on a Saturday and Sunday. So you take them, we do most of the class on Saturday, and then you come in Sunday, and we basically review, and you get tested, and you have a certification for 5 years. So,
that's, and again, that serves you for anyone who works in a restaurant, basically, and handles food.
Yes, it's good for, usually the health firm can require one person to have that certification at all times they're open, and it's also, again, applies to cottage food, because you're required to have it to sell under our cottage food law.
Certainly, you don't have enough time to share all the items that cottage food doesn't cover, but could you give an example of one thing that is not included in that cottage food law or something like it?
Sure, and I will encourage people to visit our website. We have a great website on this, and it's new with Extension. It's go.illinois.edu/cottage foods. You can also Google University of Illinois cottage foods and find it. The other thing is we do have a new online class you can take that's self-paced that goes through the Illinois cottage food law. But yeah, some of those things that are prohibited, like meat, poultry, seafood, that's things you can't sell under cottage food. Anything that has a green base, so things you would store in a refrigerator, typically you're not allowed to sell under cottage food. But there's other things like sprouts, that's another one that's not allowed. So again, when we're talking about what you're selling, it's the non-potentially hazardous foods.
Mm-hmm. And so basically, you're going to learn all the things that you need to have the Certified Food Protection Managers course. But, a little bit more specifically, what are some of the things that are really important to emphasize when they learn about all this stuff?
Sure. So we will go into like labeling. We'll talk about the process, the product. If you do need to get recipes tested, where to go to get that. We will address some of the regulation questions we often hear. So, and we'll give you even more resources as well. So again, we're just doing this in the afternoon on that March 21st date, and all the registration is going through the health department, and their phone number is 217-824-4413. If you just call saying, hey, you guys have an event coming up on March 21st, and they'll get you signed up, and they'll be at our office in Taylorville, so the Christian County Extension office. And it's going to be 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. So all one day. It's going to be a fun day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, I think that one of the things that a lot of people, as far as the cottage food stuff goes, the farmers market's right around the corner here in Taylorville. I didn't know if you know that, but that's a great example of how you can use your certified food manager's permit.
Absolutely. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this so early. It's for people who are preparing for the farmers market, who have a really great small business or love selling food, or they make it home. We want to tell you kind of the do's and don'ts when it comes to the law, and making sure that we're following it. And we're super excited the health department's going to be there too, because those would be our inspectors out at the farmers market who can help answer some of those questions.
Are you going to be out at the farmers market this year, Lisa?
Oh yes, I love that I love Peanuts and Christian County and Taylorville, their farmers market. So I love going out there and finding the new things out there and seeing what they're selling, because all of our vendors are always so excited about their products, which is always so much fun, because they're the ones who are going to tell you how they prepare it, and it's fun to kind of try new things and eat in season.
And you, as an extension office, cover Christian, Jersey, Macoupin, and Montgomery counties. What other? You mentioned Pena's farmers market. What other farmers markets are there in the area? I'm curious if you know of any.
Yeah, those are the two big ones I know of, and they do great. Definitely check their social medias. We do, if you visit our website, I believe we have a list of ones we know that are active. So if you visit our local extension website and look for farmers markets, you'll find a list for every county of ones we know that are pretty active and moving. But yeah, and those, I know the other class I have coming up that I didn't mention, we are full, is our air fryer class, which we are thrilled. We actually have a wait list for it. So if you are still interested in our air fryer class coming up here in February, I believe it's next week, that call our office. We'll add you to a wait list, and I am working right now to see if I can potentially open up another one. So just so we feel if there's a need, we're going to try to meet it.
That's fantastic. I know you were working really hard to fill that class, and I think it's still important that if you want to, as you mentioned, Lisa, learn more about air fryers and cooking for the heart, that you join the wait list, and as you mentioned, hopefully you'll get another class open.
Yeah, yep. So I'm working out the details. So, but when we do, we'll make sure to get the advertising out. And if you have called and you are on a wait list, we are going to call you back and let you know when that class opens. So,
Cool. Lisa, anything else that you'd like to reiterate or recap about cottage foods or the Certified Food Protection Manager's course before we go into a quick timeout?
Yeah, so just before you call for that Let's Talk Food Service class on March 21st with the health department, that phone number is the Christian County Health Department, which is 217-824-4413.
Really quick, what are some things that folks need to bring?
Yeah, just bring yourself and ask and bring lots of questions.
Do you need an ID or anything?
For my certified food, then yes. But for the Let's Talk Food Service, it's a little different.
Just bring yourself.
You just got to bring your curiosity. Yep.
All right. I have University of Illinois Extension Nutrition and Wellness Educator Lisa Peterson on the phone right now, and she's talking to you about all the classes and events that she's offering as part of the University of Illinois Extension Nutrition and Wellness Program. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. You'll find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube when you search WTIM TV.
WTIM.
Markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat steady at this hour. March corn 6.74 3/4 down 1.5. May corn down a penny 6.73. July corn 6.62 down 1 1/4. March beans 15.27 up 1 1/4. May beans up 1/4 15.19 3/4. July beans 15.10 3/4 up 1/4. March Chicago wheat 7.66 down 3 1/4. May wheat down 3 7.77 1/4. March bean meal, $4.89.80, down $1.30. March bean oil, $61.69, up 45 cents. Livestock market, March feeders, $186.60, down 72 cents. February live cattle, $162.32, down 22 cents. April lean hogs, $85.62, down 87 cents. In the energy market at this hour, March crude oil, $78.65, up 6 cents. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Angels Among Us. I'm Rose Ruhal at Visiting Angels. Our mission is to put seniors first, prioritizing the safety, security, and personal well-being of each and every client in our care. I'm excited to bring our services to Christian and Shelby counties. Click our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com for Visiting Angels, providing the care seniors and veterans deserve.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dream. With plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact me, Daniel Rizzo, agent at Daniel Rizzo Agency, Inc. at 823 West Spresser Street, Suite 1 in Taylorville, or call 217-562-4433 today.
At Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, we want you to be a part of the program as well via the Archer's Alley Catch of the Week. Each week, we'll select one of your pictures submitted at centralillinoisoutdoors.com and invite you to tell your story of the great outdoors. We're looking for your kid's first catch or even your first big buck. There's a simple, easy form you can fill out on your phone or computer at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. Send us your story, send us your pic. centralillinoisoutdoors.com and the Catch of the Week, brought to you by Archer's Alley, North 22nd Street in Decatur.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Tufan from Taylorville Urgent Care. We're a walk-in clinic that's open 7 days a week to take care of sniffles, injuries, broken bones, and more. Find out more by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Just Beds are the yawn exterminators, and they can give you a better night's sleep. Choose from Bemco, Chatham & Wells, Sealy, Simmons, and Tempur-Pedic. Find out the many models and styles available on their updated website by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station. WTIM.
It's the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I have University of Illinois Extension Nutrition and Wellness Educator Lisa Peterson on the phone. And Lisa, you told me off air Monday was Oat Day, right? Is that,
Yes,
I have that right? So tell me a little bit about National Oat Day.
Yeah. So kind of a fun holiday. So National Oatmeal Day.
Oatmeal Day.
But it's been great. Oatmeal Day. Yep. So it's great to talk about. When we talk about whole grains, we really get into talking about oatmeal because that one's often forgotten. And it's a great source of iron. It's a way to get great nutrients in there. Easy way. It's almost something called soluble fiber. It helps us feel really fuller longer. It also helps lower our cholesterol. For those who have diabetes, it's always a great option to prevent those blood sugar spikes. So things to think about when you're picking out your oatmeal. I know the easy one to go to are those instant packets. But the problem with the instant packets is they tend to have a lot of added sugar. And typically they kind of defeat the good of our oatmeal. They're a little bit higher in sodium and they're lower in fiber. So when we talk about eating oatmeal, the one great thing to do is try to buy the least processed version, old-fashioned or steel-cut oats. A lot of it comes to texture too, but getting the basics of your oats and then adding things to it. So you know what you're adding. You know if you're adding salt, you know if you're adding sugar. One great thing with oatmeal, I'm doing a class tonight where we're making overnight oats and adding berries. So we know what we're adding. We know we're adding natural fruit in there to sweeten it up. So that's kind of one thing we talk about oats is thinking about, okay, so can I try the steel cut? And again, it might be a texture. So depending on what kind of textures you like, really make a difference.
What are some of the things that you like to add to your oatmeal, or maybe not just what you like, but what other folks can add?
Yeah, so you can really add anything to oatmeal. I have a really great recipe for it. I call it nutty. It's overnight nutty apple oatmeal. And what we add to it is we do add maple syrup to it. So again, it's a natural form of sugar, but it does have sugar in it. Sugar is sugar. We add apples, and then I add chopped walnuts. So because we're in the middle of heart health month, walnuts are a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are extremely beneficial to our heart health. But that's when I do a third of a cup of oats, usually old fashioned, and then I add a third of a cup of milk, add in a little bit of maple syrup, cinnamon, apples, and chopped nuts, and you put it in your fridge overnight. And they're an easy way to get nutrients in the morning. You can eat it running out the door, and it's going to give you that energy you need. So again, it has iron in it. It's got fiber. It's going to keep you full, hopefully till lunch.
Yeah. Is granola something good to add into your oatmeal?
Yeah. So make sure when you're buying your granola too, you pay attention to the whole grains.
Mm.
So the dietary guidelines for Americans always suggest making half your grains whole grains because again, you get more vitamins in there and some of those minerals. So yeah, definitely. Granola is a great one. That's a great one to add to yogurt. You can add it into your oatmeal, but it's an easy way to slip in a few more nutrients and give you more energy to kind of start your day.
One of the things you mentioned, overnight oatmeal, that I have never heard overnight oatmeal so much ever actually, but over the last couple of months, I've heard a lot about this. Is this something new or has this been a recipe that's been around for a while?
It's been around for a while, but it gets trendy every once in a while. And again, it's an easy way to prepare, especially for busy parents. If they're looking for a meal to do, putting them in small mason jars, filling about halfway full, and then adding your berries or adding some extra fruit in there or something else to it, just give it a little bit more flavor and easy to eat on the road, easy to eat as they go and still have some kind of nutritional value to it.
When we're talking about oatmeal and oats, what are some good things that you can add into regular recipes to incorporate the benefits of having steel cut or regular oats into your diet without just eating oatmeal?
Sure. So if you want to add more oats to your, like you mentioned, one of them, granola is an easy way. A lot of people add oats to if they're doing cookies, which they might be a little higher in sugar, but you might be able to cut some of that sugar by adding in those oats to give it a little bit more of a chewy texture to it. I've used oats and I've broken them down and used them as breading on foods. So I've breaded chicken with oats before. So there's a lot of different varieties of things you can do with oats other than just oatmeal, even though that's kind of the easy go-to when we talk about using oats. And if you are somebody who has celiac disease, I know that's something they have to be very careful on when selecting their oats, because while oats are naturally gluten-free, they are processed oftentimes in a facility that comes in contact with wheat. So make sure you check your label and that it states that it is gluten-free if you are somebody with celiac disease who really misses oatmeal.
One of the things I like to use oats for, I like to incorporate into a protein smoothie. That's
another great option. It thickens things up really nicely too. Yep.
Right, mix it up and add some protein in there and everything else. Any other recipes that you'd like to include about oatmeal during this week where National Oatmeal Day occurred?
Yeah, so it definitely, like I said, there's a lot of different varieties of ways you can prepare oatmeal. It's a great whole grain, which is what we try to get more of because of that vitamin B and E and that calcium and zinc in there. Again, it's going to keep you fuller longer. But using milk instead of adding water, adding nuts in there. I mentioned adding walnuts. You can also add pecans to it, dried cranberries. Frozen fruit's a great one. You can also mix in applesauce too if you want a little bit more flavor. But yeah, that's the nice thing about oatmeal. You get a lot of options.
This is kind of, you just mentioned applesauce and it jogged my brain. I've been using that as a midnight snack lately to kind of replace some of the other stuff. I did not realize that unsweetened, there's two things I didn't realize about unsweetened applesauce. A, it's really good still. Really good. And B, it's super good for you if it's unsweetened.
Yeah, yep. And that's the one thing is with unsweetened applesauce is when we buy the stuff that is sweetened, it's usually added sugar. So if you buy unsweetened, something great to add to it is cinnamon. I had somebody who once had cayenne, and they said that gives them an extra kick in their applesauce. So
like a little spice.
Option. Adding like nutmeg. Yeah. Yep. So if you're getting bored of your plain unsweetened, try adding some spices because then you're not adding sodium, you're not adding sugar. You're adding some very basic things in there to give it a little bit more kick.
And cinnamon is one of those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Cinnamon's a big one. Yep.
Cool. Just making sure you're advocating for cinnamon there. I might have started a little bit of a fight with you.
No, I love cinnamon.
Never. I'm kidding, and I would never fight with you, Lisa. Hey, before we go, anything else that you'd like to add?
No, but definitely be watching out for our classes we have coming up. If you're looking for recipes, you can always visit Eat, Move, Save, which is through University of Illinois, which has a ton of great recipes. And we do have a diabetes website as well that has a ton of recipes. So if you're somebody who's worried about what can I eat? I'm newly diagnosed. You can always call our office or email me directly, and I'm happy to answer those questions.
Nutrition and wellness educator Lisa Peterson, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylor.